We are almost there. There we go. There's our lights. So we're ready to go.
Hello, everybody,
Hello, everybody. This is Danny
and Wanda.
from Deep South Homestead. Come on in and join us tonight while we sit here and wait on everybody to get in.
We're going to talk about gardening.
Talk about something. I don't know what. Maybe gardening,
Yeah, we're going to
planting.
talk a little bit about the gathering
Mm-hmm.
and just see who all shows up.
There they come.
Florida, Deborah, Firefly Moon Pie, Papa Truck and Cindy, Denise, Music Well, Kubota, Red Duchess, Mimsy's Garden. Okay, Anna, Virginia and Deborah. We got a lot of
We've
people.
got a lot of people showing up tonight.
Yeah.
Fast, coming in real quick.
So,
and yes, I am doing just fine.
Yeah, they wanted to know he still got a little bit of a cough.
Yeah, a little bit of a cough, but it's not bad.
And he's working on getting a little better. When do y'all plant your carrots? Well, the first ones we planted, what, in October?
We always plant winter carrots. We very seldom ever plant summer carrots, but this year we might just plant some summer carrots.
Well, I've already got some up. Can I show them the pictures?
Oh, that's right. Hang on just a minute.
I planted some summer carrots right there.
Okay.
Container carrots. Go up.
Right there. Okay.
I know they're little, but that's one of those big black containers that we have. And I have two of them, I believe, or two or three that have carrots that have two leaves. So I'm super excited to be growing carrots in containers for the summer. So yes, we are going to be planting some. Root crops is coming up again in a week or so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I planted those the last time that it was our funeral home calendar said it was time to plant root crops. Yeah, our funeral home calendar is going to be popular, and I didn't get to the funeral home to see if I could get any more, but I'm hoping we can. So I planted, the other container is the radishes, the one right above it.
Okay, hang on just a minute here. Yes. There we go.
The radishes come up really, really quickly. So these two are out near our hugel bed. And I also have all my stuff in my vertical planter coming up. So
there we go.
We're just excited.
All right. Somebody wants to know what kind of corn is the best corn to plant in Texas? Danny corn.
I didn't know you were going to say that.
Danny corn grows great anywhere in the United States. It's proven to be true. Go to our Etsy store. You can find it there. The stuff grows about 16 feet tall. Makes huge ears. We have lots of videos on it, and it is it's probably
a good corn.
It's probably the best corn I can tell you. It's not because I created it. It's because it's the truth.
He just likes his corn, y'all.
It's a good corn. Everybody that plants it fell in love with it. So check it out.
But if they don't want Danny corn.
But if you don't want Danny corn, I don't know what's the best corn to plant in Texas. Texas gourd seed corn, I suppose.
We planted that, didn't we?
We planted that here one time, yeah.
And that's if you're looking for field corn now. Sweet corn would be whatever the type of sweet corn that you like, right?
Yeah, now Danny corn is a field corn. It's not a sweet corn. If you're looking for a sweet corn, it's probably going to be Stoll Evergreen.
That's the one we like.
Yeah. It's a good heirloom corn.
Okay, and can you explain a little bit about sweet corn and field corn while we're talking about this? A lot of people don't understand the difference.
Well, sweet corn is a corn that can stand a little bit cooler weather, so it's usually planted earlier. Field corn is just what it is. It's field corn. It can be ground into cornmeal, grits, stuff like that. Hominy can be made from it. It can be planted for animals to eat. There's lots of different things. So
sweet corn's more of what you get in the store.
That's what you get in the grocery store when you go to buy corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Field corn is more your grits and cornmeal and your animal feed, and we like it on cut off, like sweet corn is cut off, and we do like it on the cob. We've eaten it that way. It's different. It's not real sweet, so you don't have that sweet taste.
Public Freak says, do you recommend getting corn seed from Tractor Supply? I don't know anything about getting corn seed from Tractor Supply, so I can't answer that one. All I know is the corn that we sell. And we have a link down below if I'm correct.
To
We
our
also
Etsy store.
to our Etsy store and to Hoss Tool.
Yes, Hoss Tools has quite a few different types of corn. I think there
Yes.
were several types.
Dixie Living said, is field corn the same as dent corn? It can be. Field corn can be 2 or 3. It can be flint corn. It can be dent corn. It can be a several different types of corns. It's called field corn.
Yeah.
Danny corn is good on the cob. Yes, it is good on the cob. You just got to pick it before it matures, though.
Yeah. So when do I know? I saw this. When do you plant Danny corn here? I don't know about anywhere else, but
I
here.
plant here about mid-March.
So in about a month and a half here. Now, if you live further north, it's going to be according to when you plant.
It's going to be according to when your corn planting season is.
Yeah.
The starches are different in the corn, is it not, Mr. Danny? Yes, there's different starches in the corn. Sweet corn will be a lot more starchier than field corn is, if you let it set too long. Will Danny corn work in the desert? Yes, Danny corn, as long as you've got the water and the nitrogen to the corn that I've created, it will do fantastic.
And now Broussard wants to know about planting it in Southwest Louisiana. About the
same time, about mid-March.
Yeah. And then somebody said they had some in the freezer for a couple of years. Will it still be good?
Yes.
We actually, a few years ago, thought we had lost most of his corn, and his mom found some in her freezer. And so we ended up with more of it back. And then a friend of his had some in her freezer.
Yeah.
So we got a double whammy that year of corn back. And so what little bit we had went even further.
Yes. There's Ms. Amanda. She did make it up in here tonight.
Yeah, I've seen Jen at the Nut House.
Jen at the Nut House. I saw Scratch Made way back there. Do we want to talk about the menu?
The gathering right quick?
Yeah, let's talk about the gathering.
We've got two or three things that I need to mention before we get off into the next whatever with planting. And one of it is that Scratch Made Homestead owns Tanner's Pecans, and they are going to be doing our menu for the gathering. And I don't have it in front of me, but it is in the Deep South Gathering Place on Facebook. Mm-hmm. What they're doing, they're going to be bringing a variety of stuff. And Danny or Leslie, if you could put the email or how they contact you, they are taking pre-orders. And so they're going to have chicken strips, hamburgers, hot dogs, pulled pork, red beans and rice. I mean, all varieties of stuff there. Salads. For breakfast, they're going to be having some biscuits and sausage dogs. So if you want to make sure that you have food or you want to pick up something special, know it's going to be there, pre-order. And I'm not seeing if they put up there how they want it pre-ordered, but in the gathering place, we will make sure we have that where you can pre-order the food. And it's all reasonably priced. Everything looks like it's going to be superb. I'm just fine and dandy. They have done a great job. And the other thing is they're doing pecan cookies. They're going to do a dozen pecan cookies done up with a ribbon or a bow or something. I done forgot how she said she's going to do it, but it's going to be a little fancy. And they're charging $5 a dozen. So if you want some of those cookies, pre-order so they know how many to make and bring. And they are doing some of their pecans and their candies and things like that. So if you want some of that, get in touch with Tanner's Pecans. I think it's Tanner's with a S, TANNERS, pecan with no S at, tannerspecan.com. So check it out and get with Danny and Leslie at Scratch Made Homestead.
One person asked back there, is this a bully-free zone? Yes, this is a bully-free zone.
It's a bully-free zone.
We don't tolerate bullies here.
Oh, okay, I guess so. Okay, the other thing is Red Duchess Farms owns we call it greenhouse, big, huge greenhouse setup where they sell plants. And if you haven't watched Red Duchess Farms, they're in the description here. Check them out. they're bringing plants to the gathering for people in the southern part that can already grow things.
Mhm.
They're going to have peppers and tomatoes and some brassicas and different things. So we're going to have a list. I think it's already in the gathering place of what Mark and Jamie are bringing to the gathering to sell as far as plants. And Jamie's bringing alpaca stuff. She makes some wonderful stuff out of alpaca. And something else.
Well, Hope wants to know, I've purchased several heirloom seeds. If I don't use all of them this year, must I store them in the freezer? My concern is when LCE happens, no electricity, will all my seeds go bad? You do not have to store all your seeds in a freezer.
Corn and peas.
Corn and peas are the only two we leave in the freezer. But once they've been in there for 2 to 3 weeks, you can take them out, let them dry good before you store them up, and they usually will do perfectly fine for several years.
Yeah, it's mainly
without refrigeration. Yeah.
Mainly to kill any bugs on the corn and peas. Okay. One other thing, Firefly Moon Pie is doing a quilt at the gathering, and everybody's going to be able to go by and work on the quilt, and she's going to make it for Deep South Homestead. So she's asking that you come by her booth and help quilt, learn how to quilt. So I know that's the one, those things are something that we wanted to talk about here.
Carla wants to know, will anyone be selling soap?
I'm pretty sure because I've got about 10 or 12.
Somebody there probably will.
Oh, yes, Brenda's Basics. If I'm not mistaken, Brenda's Basics, she has all kinds of lotions and things, and I think soap is one of them. I'm pretty sure. And Homestead Mama might. I'm not sure she makes soaps, but I know she does have her lotions and different things like that, so I know she'll have her stuff. But both of those might accidentally have soaps. And I'm pretty sure some of the other ladies are going to be making soaps, but I can't tell you because not everybody told me exactly what they were making.
Margaret, yes, rattlesnake beans should do just fine in Columbia, South Carolina. So they should be fine.
And you can order them from Hoss Tools.
Yes, you can order them from the link down below, and Hoss Tool Seed Company has them. Red Duchess says Jamie is bringing cow milk soap.
Okay, so see,
there will be some.
Yeah, so there's going to be quite a few. Scratchmade is putting up a phone number. It's 800-635-3651, and that is if you want to pre-order your breakfast and lunch for the gathering, so that you know it's there. Blessings by the Body Sales Soap. I don't know if she's asked for a booth yet, though. I know she's going to be there, but I'm not sure she's going to be having a booth.
Public Freak Outs 2 says how to save corn seed. You can store your corn seed in the freezer. We always do ours in the freezer for at least 2 to 3 weeks before we take it out and sell it to make sure we've killed all the eggs in it or anything, and it usually will last fine after that. Let's see here.
You want to show them what the Lorry family's got going on?
Yeah, I want to do that right quick. We'll get back to we're going to bounce in and out of some different subjects here tonight. We've been kind of helping the Lorry family this past week get ready to build their house. And I want to show y'all a couple.
Wait, no, I did the wrong thing.
I know you always did the wrong thing. I want to show y'all what we've got going on over here at the Lorry families. They are getting ready to build their new home. And I've been kind of helping them make sure that they can put in a basement system that doesn't actually leak or have water problems. And here's where we're at so far. This is the Lorry family's basement foundation that they have installed. Getting ready to pour concrete. It's about 8 foot underground. It's really a nice looking place to set up. Here it is from a different angle. If you want to see, they have a video up about actually building this. Go over to the Lorry family homestead.
It's actually in the cards.
It's in the cards, okay. So you put it in the cards of the video, okay.
Yeah.
Just go over to the Lorry family homestead, and you'll be able to see Brian's building of this foundation, getting it ready. They'll be ready to pour concrete this coming week. They're waiting an inspection. It should take place on Monday, and it's coming along really nice. Brian's done a fantastic job. This is one of the first steps to building an underground basement in a house. I want y'all need to follow them because Brian's going to be doing this thing all the way through, and we're going to be showing you how to properly build a basement and put in a water system so that it doesn't stay full of water, it doesn't flood and stuff like that. It's actually a good looking project that they have going on there. So check out their channel.
They should be pouring concrete in the next week or so, right?
Yeah.
They're getting it all ready. And how deep is this hole?
This hole's about 8 foot deep.
Yeah. It's they got a giant swimming pool right now. It's not a pool, it doesn't have water in it, but it'd make a giant one.
Oh, it would make one, but it's not going to hold water. It's going to do
awesome.
Just fine.
So I saw Two Family is making plaques, wooden plaques like they did last year. So if anybody wants one of those, you have to pre-order those too before the gathering.
Chester and Christy Davis. Danny, what is the difference between urea and nitrogen? Well, urea is a natural substance that occurs naturally in nature. It's urine. Nitrogen is a synthetic-based product. It's man-made. Both of them do exactly the same thing. It's just that one is natural and the other one is man-made.
Yes, and somebody was asking, do they have to order food for the gathering?
No.
You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. That way you know that they're bringing enough for what you want.
Yeah.
Because it helps them get an approximate of whatever. They'll explain that if you contact them.
The Lorry family said there'll be a pool next year, so
they're planning on it.
Public Freak says, have we used blood meal before? Yes, we have used blood meal on many things that we plant. It's a nitrogen substitute.
We used the fish emulsion one year, and
we used fish stuff one year, and the animals came and dug up everything we had.
They dug every seed up overnight.
Every seed.
Just a heads up, if you live in an area where there's lots of animals,
yes,
that it's quite possible.
Yes, and I want to stop for a moment and say thank you for all the people who offered up your prayers for me. Everybody kept telling me to go to a doctor, and I don't do doctors unless I'm dying.
He has to be hurting pretty bad.
I've got to be pretty bad for me to go to a doctor. And no, I did not have the shingles. Whatever it was that I caught did affect the nerve endings in my body and made me for about 5 days live the most uncomfortable itching life that I think I've ever had. But after about the 5th day, I just woke up and it was gone. So I'm not one to just run to a doctor just because something happens, So, but thank y'all anyway for your thoughts and your prayers.
Yeah. And Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to know, could they come help the Lorrys build a house? I see the Lorrys are saying, sure, come on over. The one thing with the flu and stuff, almost everybody's telling Danny to go to a doctor, but we had Dr. Oster actually sent us a message, and he is a legal doctor.
Yeah, I had doctors tell me don't go to the doctor.
And he was telling Danny, he didn't tell him not to go to the doctor.
No,
but he gave him some really good advice, which did not include going to the doctor.
Yeah.
We thought that was very funny, but
yeah.
Dr. Oster gave him some really good advice,
and it was great advice on what to do and how to do it, and it seemed to work.
Yeah, he seems to be better.
Now I still have a little bit of a sinus issue.
And a little bit of the cough.
A little bit of a cough, but other than that, I'm fine. It's just going to take a little while to get through it. It's just like one doctor told me, he said, you can come in and you can get shots and you can get this and you can get that and you can be well in 7 days. Or you can stay home, drink plenty of fluids and take care of yourself and still be well in 7 days. So,
pretty much. So
we chose the latter.
Yeah. That's usually what we do. Now, if he had gotten sick to the point that there was I mean, there's a fine line, and that's where a lot of people are going to have to figure out when to go to a doctor and when not to, because
Yeah.
so much is going on with healthcare now that they're not actually allowing you to go to a doctor every time
Yeah.
you cough or sneeze.
Right.
So you've got to learn that a fever of 103 is still safe.
Yeah, you're not
If
going
you're
to
throwing up,
die. You're not going to die at 103-degree
if you're
temperature.
throwing up violently, you're
Yeah.
still safe. If it's coming out the other end, you're still safe. You don't need a doctor for this stuff. Okay, so
what type of inoculant for peas and beans? You want a mycorrhizobial bacteria inoculant, and it will tell you on there that it's for legumes, beans, seeds, peas, and stuff like that. But it needs to be the mycorrhizobial bacteria. You can get it in a powder form that you pour down, a granular form that you pour down the row, or you can get it in a powder form that you mix up a slurry and wet and put on your seeds. You can do it either way. It really helps the plants to be able to draw nitrogen from the soil until they get big enough to pull it from the air.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah, one's saying flu is a virus and you have to ride it out. Tamiflu isn't going to help you, it's just going to cost you. That's exactly right. Antibiotics don't help with viral infections, but most people don't understand their body. They don't understand flu and how it works.
Yeah. Well, any viruses, there are no cures for viruses. Viruses, antibiotics don't work.
All right, so they're still not understanding inoculant. It's actually something that we use it as a powder form, or we did a liquid this time.
Yeah, we've used it either way, but peas and beans need this inoculant. It helps them to be able to draw the nitrogen from the soil to benefit the plant until it's big enough to draw it from the air and deposit it back into the soil. So most all peas and beans need to have inoculant on them.
Do we still raise rabbits?
Not right at the moment.
No, we did meat birds this summer or this fall, so we did not get our rabbits back right now. We do intend to get rabbits eventually, but we have enough in the freezer right now to last for a while, so that's kind of on hold.
David, as far as I know, lard is fine for making pemmican. I don't think that I've never heard that you couldn't use it. Let me put it that way.
I would think they used that
I would think that was probably what they
originally.
did use originally. What are your favorite pole or runner beans? It would be rattlesnake beans.
And then somebody says, are rattlesnake beans like white half runners in taste? I don't know.
I don't know if they're like it in taste. They're more like a green bean in taste.
They're a touch sweeter than an average green bean.
Yeah, they're like the Blue Lakes or anything like that. The contenders, they resemble them a lot in taste.
All right, so Willa is asking if next week you would talk a little bit about animal care, and I did write that down, Willa. So
yes, we'll see if we can't get that worked out.
If something doesn't happen between now and then. Somebody says you're better off with oregano oil. Yes,
yeah,
and I do have some of that.
Denise says I'm using 5-10-5 on my potatoes. What else would you recommend? I would recommend a little bit later on, once the potatoes get up about a foot high, to put something a little bit higher in nitrogen in the soil, so that the plants has a little bit more to pull from, and a little bit more sulfur in it.
Do we process our own hogs? Yes, we have 2 right now that was supposed to have been done last week.
Yeah, they were supposed to have been processed this past week, but I messed around and got sick.
So they're on hold again.
Bruce Hart said, I just had a toenail removed. I needed the doctor for that. Yeah, if you have a toenail took off, you probably need a doctor.
Doctors are good on things, but there's some things that you can kind of get away with.
Do we plant the same crops every year, or do we try new stuff? We try new stuff occasionally, but we do keep all the tried true crops going every year.
Yeah.
Christy says, do I keep lime away from Irish potatoes? Yes. Irish potatoes do not need lime. Let's see.
Linda's saying that she was looking for New Zealand's and found a buck for $100. Oh, I paid what, $8 or $10, 12, less than $12 for mine when I got them. And so, yeah, it's according to who you asked.
Michelle says, have you grown greasy pole beans here in the deep south? We haven't grown them. We have them. We got them from Flutie Lick Homestead, and we haven't actually planted them just yet.
Country Homestead Preacher said they ordered 30 chicks from Stromberg's and they were all dead when they got here. They had to ship them during that cold spell. It's better if you don't order chicks during a freeze or anytime when it's freezing, because they can't handle that. They're born, they put them in the package and send them to you. That's why
they'll replace all of them.
They're replacing, they said.
Yeah.
But it's just hard for them to ship them when it's freezing.
When it's freezing cold. When will you be doing a video on planting by the moon? Pretty soon. I'm hoping to be able to get that video out. We've got so many videos to get out that, oh man, just getting caught up is a job.
Hopefully this week there'll be some.
Hopefully this week I'm going to be able to get it done.
Do you keep a journal or a calendar? Yes.
Yes. I write in my journal every day.
He has, like, the last 4 or 5 years. We've been married 5 years. I guess he has a journal for at least 5 of them.
Yeah.
First off, he was just keeping up with rain and a few items, but every year he's added more and more.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty much a slight book. It might be nice for me to just publish one of your journals one day.
Maybe one of these days.
How many of y'all would buy one of his journals if I published what he wrote in his journals?
Oh, Diana says, here in South Carolina, my peach trees and blueberries are starting to flower. Same thing here.
Our huckleberries are
in full bloom. Our peach trees are starting to put blooms on. Our blueberries are starting to bud out and bloom. Our mulberry tree is starting to leaf out good. So, I mean, there's all kind of things happening here.
Yeah. So...
Oh.
I don't know what all pictures.
Okay.
I don't even remember what we've got going on.
Where are you at there, all these things? Okay.
I don't even remember.
Okay, we have pictures of my carrots. We have pictures of... Nope.
Y'all look at Danny's carrots. That is the professional carrot garden. Don't y'all think that is pretty awesome?
Yep. This is the carrots that I planted.
Okay, now Jan asked before, do you have a video on setting up your drip irrigation?
Yes.
I think we do.
I think we did that.
I'm not sure. We would have to go back and hunt.
I'm pretty sure I did with the Hoss tool. I'm pretty sure I did it.
On the one we're working on back here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we hadn't finished it. We just put it down.
We put it down. We hadn't actually hooked it up yet. We still got that to go. But
we just did that back in the fall. Maybe do a throwback video of the journal.
Storm Lane Fox says, what are the favorite peppers to grow deep south? Marconis. We love the Marconi peppers.
And jalapenos.
Banana peppers, and
the bells.
We do grow the California Wonder bell peppers.
We did the purple.
But we did the purple ones and everything. But our Marconis are by far our favorites.
Okay, somebody was asking about my green stalks. We'll show you that in just a minute.
Just a minute.
But let me show you. These are the love carrots. Now, they're not as big and pretty as Danny's professional garden, but we will have carrots. And hopefully quite a few of them. We'll see when it's all said and done how many carrots we actually get out of the love garden.
They're asking, is drip irrigation hard to install? Not if you have the right equipment, it's not.
Yeah. All right, so you want to talk a little bit about broccoli and cabbage and...
Well, our broccoli and our cabbage is almost gone.
And when people would plant this and stuff, here it's too late.
Here it's too late to plant it here.
We're going into spring-like weather, and this doesn't do good. But if you're up north, couldn't they still plant?
Yes, if you're up north, you still have plenty of time to grow any type of cabbages and broccolis and stuff. But down south here, in the next couple of weeks or so, it's going to be getting too hot.
Yeah, we did.
Rhonda says, how and when do I plant a blueberry bush? You can plant your blueberries right now. Matter of fact, now is a good time to plant them.
We just planted a new one this week.
Yeah. Make sure your soil pH is about no more than 5.5. You want it to be just a little bit less than that if you can get it. You may have to add some ammonium sulfate to the soil or some sulfur to bring your pH down if it happens to be too high.
We do not plant sugar daddy peas, and I do not ferment carrots.
No.
What should we be planting right now, homemade home? It's according to where you live. Everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Yeah.
Here in Deep South, we just planted our English peas, which, let's see, this is the final, let me find where it went.
Yeah, this
Danny
is our.
finished this up today.
We just finished this up today. Our peas will be coming up in the spaces where you see the dirt at there. We have row covers in between the rows to be able to help keep down the weeds. We were going to install the drip irrigation, but we did not get to because the time was too pressing for us to be able to get in and do it. Rita says, do you prune your tomato plants? Yes, we do. We do. We only prune the indeterminate tomato plants. The determinate tomato plants we do not prune.
Yeah, and that brings us to, look at that, guys. Isn't that awesome?
That's the tomatoes in our greenhouse right now. Miss Wanda's tickled to death because she has a red tomato.
No, we had
a red tomato. She has.
Danny and I shared that tomato a couple of days ago, and it was awesome to taste a tomato in the middle of the winter that actually tasted like a tomato.
Yes. It is awesome.
And so this is a patio tomato that's growing in the greenhouse. And somebody asked about my green stalk. I got green stuff growing in it. These are the seeds that I planted. I believe these are radish seeds that came up from the looks of it. And then this is the other stuff. And somebody was asking about planting tomatoes in it. And the bottom tier has 2 tomatoes, one on the front and one on the back. And the rest of it is brassicas that I planted in there. So we're going to see how well tomatoes grow in it. I didn't forget what variety I got, but I just bought 2 plants and put one on each side.
What seeds are you getting ready to start? We've already started our tomato seeds in the greenhouse, and they're already up about 1 inch tall, I would say. We've got all of our pepper seeds started in the greenhouse. Those are the only two things right now is the tomatoes and the peppers that I have started actually in the greenhouse. The Music Well says, what determinate tomato variety do you grow? We love the Bella Rosa.
And we're going to do that this year.
The Bella Rosa is the determinate variety that we're going to be planting this year. Now, it's not an heirloom. It is a hybrid, but this year we have so many seeds this year that we're really not going to be taking this year and worrying about saving any seeds from certain plants. We're just going to be about upping our food production.
Okay, Marconi is a sweet pepper. It tastes like a bell, but it is real thin skinned. It's awesome.
It's an Italian pepper.
Yes, and Georgia Garden Girl wants to know, can you explain what a determinate is as opposed to the indeterminate?
On a tomato, when you have a determinate variety, that is what's called a bush tomato. It usually only gets about no more than 3 feet high. The tomatoes predominantly come in 3 phases. The bottom tomatoes will get ripe. Then you have the middle group of tomatoes and then the top tomatoes. Usually pretty quick, within a 2 to 3 week period, all the tomatoes get ready on it. An indeterminate variety of tomatoes is what's called a vining tomato. They can grow 8, 10, 12, 15 feet tall.
According to how much
depending on how much fertilizer you put to them and how much of a trellis system you have. And they usually will produce tomatoes all summer long.
Do greenhouse tomatoes taste different than outside grown tomatoes?
Yes.
Yes. Not a lot different.
Not
but
a lot,
is
but the skin
difference.
is usually a little bit tougher on a greenhouse tomato than it is on one that's grown outside.
Do you have a favorite hybrid tomato?
The favorite hybrid is going to probably be the Bella Rosa.
Is that a hybrid?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that is some of the things. Let's see what else I've got. When do you plant onions and garlic? Now I've cleaned this up. This
Yeah,
is
this is
kind of a little
it looks a little
boogery,
ragged right now. Wanda's cleaned it up in the last day or two.
and there's no weeds in it
We
right
have
now.
4 varieties of garlic here in this garden. The onions are not in this particular part right here. This is strictly garlic and cabbage, broccolis, and stuff like that. But you're looking at strictly garlic right here.
Yeah. And when did we plant this?
We planted this last October, I believe it was.
So can they plant now? Is there some places that
No, you
can't?
can still plant. You'll harvest later toward the fall.
Okay, so garlic can be. What about onions? I don't think I've got a picture of the onions.
Yes, you can plant onions right now.
Um,
I don't think we did a picture of the onions.
I don't think I did.
No.
We have several types of onions. We've got green onions.
We have green onions, what's called a multiplying onions in containers, which you have a picture of them on here, don't you?
Did I? I don't remember.
I think you have a picture of the green multiplying.
Yes, I do. Okay.
This is our green multiplying onions in containers. We grow those year after year after year. We have 3 different varieties of bulb onions planted. We also have the Egyptian walking onions planted, and all these onions and everything is doing fantastic.
Misa, I may be saying your name wrong, but she bought the little greenhouse like we have, and she wants to know how ours is doing. My greenhouse is doing fine. I don't have a lot in it right now. I've got some flowers. I think I have some Malabar spinach and something else, but I'm planning on starting my herbs in it. And Danny's got mine attached to concrete.
Yeah.
And it also has the house as a buffer. So mine is doing fine. We've had some pretty good winds, but now it's according to where you put it, if the wind gets it.
World Without Rule of Law says they didn't see any Marconi seeds in our Etsy store. Do we still have some we can put up?
I don't know if we even have any. We try not to down our seeds. So if they're not there right now, Danny will have to check and see if we have enough.
I'll have to check and see if we have any more. If we do, I'll put some up. Keep an eye on the Etsy store.
Did Hoss Tools have Marconis?
No.
Okay. It's hard to find the Marconis.
Yeah. Some questions are getting by me here. Let me see if I can back up just a minute. Okay, Danny, were those panels you used on the peas called cattle panels? Yes, they were the 50-inch high cattle panels. Danny, is the inoculant good for all seeds? No, all seeds don't need inoculant. Only peas and beans.
What type of beans? Just any type
like
of beans?
Butter beans, lima beans, green beans, anything like that needs the inoculant on it, and peas needs inoculant. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss any.
Leo said he just planted his green buncheon onions today in his second
carrots too.
Green
onions are a staple in Louisiana cooking. They're a staple in South Mississippi cooking too, my friend.
Oh yes.
My silver skin garlic is half the size of all 5 varieties that I've planted. Some garlics depends on if they went through stratification or not.
Yeah.
If they didn't go through stratification, then they will not make big bulbs like some will.
I saw somebody was mentioning grass. Mine is starting to come up. It's starting to get the green coming out in it. So I would give it a little time, and you can divide it. Somebody was asking about dividing it.
Yes, you can divide it.
You can dig the whole thing up and chop it in pieces and spread it out, and you'll be surprised at the end of the summer how pretty your grass will be.
Denise says, first run of some new blueberries, full sun or limited sun. It can be either. Blueberries is one of those bushes that can grow up under other trees if need be, but they do okay in full sun also. Reese says, have we planted our taters yet? Yes, we have a video.
Hold on. Where is
it at? Didn't we have a picture of our potatoes?
I thought we did, but maybe I didn't.
No, I thought you, I thought they were there. They are.
There we go.
There's our potato field. We have all of our Irish potatoes planted. And here, now we haven't planted our fingerling potatoes yet, which we will be getting.
Yeah. And Danny checked these, and the eyes are starting to pop. So
Yeah,
it won't be, another week or so. We should be seeing some green stuff coming out on the potatoes. But we planted, what, 2 weeks ago? And the time to plant again is coming up next week. I don't know
yeah,
what days, but for those of you that did not plant earlier, um, you know,
yeah.
you'll
John
have it.
Hendrickson says in an LCE there will be no inoculant, and John is exactly right.
So what do you do?
Well,
We planted them without
I've
before.
planted without inoculant before. It's just that if you do use the inoculant,
Mhm.
it really boosts your crop.
Yeah, English
I've
peas is the
I've
main
done
thing that
I've
we
done the
do.
test on it before, and actually the rows that I put inoculant on double produced what the ones I
Mhm.
didn't put on did.
Now, our regular peas, we don't put anything on them because
No, not regular field peas. I don't.
we don't do anything.
Um,
What do
let's
you
see.
put in your soil for potatoes amendments?
I just use a. I basically just use a good sulfur-based fertilizer.
Have you done a garden tool vlog? Probably
Uh,
not, but that's something I would think we might do this week
we
sometime
we
or
we used to
next
do
week.
garden tools on porch time in the beginning. We
Yes.
haven't done it in quite some time.
So he might talk about some of those one day.
Azaleen, you can get loofah seeds if that's what you're looking for, or the loofah themselves from Living Traditions. Kevin and Sarah have the loofah there
Hmm.
that they sell. If you're interested, just go to their YouTube channel, Living Traditions. Tell them Danny and Wanda sent you, and they should have some there.
Okay, so YouTube Yoda wants to know about the vertical plant. It is on a base that has wheels on it. If you go back and watch the video that where I put it together, they come with two different kinds of bases, or you can not get a base and you can turn it yourself, I guess. But the one I got is on wheels, so I can roll it around. They also make like a Lazy Susan type base that you can get and you're going to leave it in place and it'll spin around.
Georgia Garden Girl said, "Did I miss hearing where you get inoculants?"
Ordered
We
online.
ordered ours online from Amazon, didn't we?
On Amazon. I don't know exactly the name of the company, but you can type in pea inoculant and pull it up.
Lake Effect Farm said, "We are dehydrating icicles now."
Okay, Grandma Rose says that on Marconi's, Baker Creek, Southern Exposures, Seed Savers, Seeds and such have Marconi. So there are some out there.
K. Archie says, "What do you plant with your potatoes? Any companion plants?" No, we don't do any companion planting with the potatoes because they're a nightshade plant. They don't really do good with companion planting.
Jen says that Scratch Made Homestead has loofah seeds too, so check with them. Are we selling moringa seeds or plants? Well, I tried to start some to have at the gathering, and I didn't have any luck because I forgot to water them. I forgot to put them in to start with, and then when I did, I
Yeah.
forgot to water them. So I have no moringa plants, and I'm not sure about seeds. I think we will have some seeds at the gathering.
Cindy answered that question a while ago, but we just put a good sulfur-based fertilizer with our potatoes is all we do because they could use a little extra sulfur. They like acidy soil.
Will you start back your talk on Gardening 101 videos?
Yeah.
The inoculate, so they use Nature's Aid. We did Nature's Aid last year, and I think what we got this time was a liquid. We thought we would try it this year. We really liked the Nature's Aid last year. That did really well. So
Somebody needs to take John Milton's request thing off. I don't have time to do it.
Okay, somebody got
I
it.
think somebody got it.
Refresh if you need to.
Yeah, refresh if you need to. We're it's kind of cloudy here and still it's wanting to be rainy looking, but it's just part of the time.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Can you tell me how do you get yours to, I guess, chit? They're talking about the potatoes. We don't get them.
We don't actually cause ours to chit. We just cut them. You can dust them with sulfur after you cut them if you want to, or you can lay them out and let them dry for about a week and then put them in the ground.
And how much flesh do you leave on them when you cut them?
As much as you can, as much as possible. The more the better, let me put it that way. You want at least 2 eyes on every one that you cut.
And do you sell any of your Danny corn?
Yes.
On Etsy. And if it's not any there, it's been sold, I will put some more back up. Sometimes I can't keep up with it. So there was some earlier, but I don't know. Several people bought stuff today. So I'll try to get back on there and check it in a little while.
YouTube Yoda says, Danny, do you use an auger to put fertilizer in or not? No, we do not use an auger. Depending on what we're planting, I may spread it all over the field and disc it in and then till it in. But usually we just put it down deep in the row, cover it up, and then plant seeds on top of it.
Is Danny corn a hybrid?
No. Danny corn is an heirloom. You can save seed from my corn.
And Charlotte, yes, we're going to start back on the Gardening 101 videos soon. I think the internet kicked off about time we answered that.
When should you plant sweet potatoes to make slips in zone 9? You can actually plant them now.
We have a few in containers. We have a few in the garden. And we plan on planting some more in the ground somewhere. Yeah. So.
Are my potatoes okay? They molded after I cut them. That's not a good sign. If they start to rot, you need to just redo it.
What you said is what they're calling chitting. Well, when we kind of looked it up, what most people do is they wait till that eye pops and starts growing, and they're calling that chitting.
Yeah, usually once the eye starts growing, it's called chitting.
And we don't wait that long.
We don't wait that long.
And we might should, but we don't. Ours seems to be doing pretty good.
Let's see here.
All right, so what else we got? The one thing we've had going for a while is our chard and our cabbage. The cabbages this year just seem to just be sitting there. They're small, they're not getting big. I'm not sure what's going on. The chard, if you noticed, it's always been beautiful. All winter long, the chard has grown fantastic. And this is some that Jen at the Nut House and Mike planted when they were here. So we've had some pretty good luck. But now we always plant this in the fall and it goes over winter. So some people are just getting ready to plant that.
The Ghost Girl says, do you use or recommend using potash on tomato plants? Yes, we do use potash on tomato plants. I usually put it in the ground ahead of the planting time, at least a week or two ahead, and give it time to start working into the soil.
Would you mind telling me where in Central Florida we're in? Oh, they're talking to somebody else. All right, Super Scooter, can you just kind of click them off? Take and just ban them if you don't mind.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Thank you. The cabbage is growing slow, and Leo said. Yeah, we've harvested all our broccoli, so we're going to be pulling those plants up. But then the cabbage was, it's just small. That's all I can say. Yeah, they should be this big around by now.
Yeah, they've had plenty of fertilizer, plenty of rain, plenty of everything. I don't know what the deal is this year, but they are just not growing
Several people saying theirs are doing the same. How long do you leave your potatoes in the ground?
Usually about 90 days, close to it, around 90 days.
And then Tex Mom of 5 says, are you growing moringa and how do you use it? Yes, I do have a moringa tree. I had 4 or 5 of them a couple of years ago. I'm down to 1, but you can plant them in the spring and they'll get up just as big and pretty. And you can take them. I put mine back out in my herb garden every year and I take it back into the greenhouse. And I just walk by and get leaves and eat on them when I want some. So that's the biggest thing I do.
Reese says, Wanda, do you ever cook the broccoli leaves?
Yes. We do. I add them to stir fry.
Yes. Matter of fact, when Amanda was here, we cooked some, I believe.
We add it to our stir fry.
Christy says, my Brussels sprouts are not producing. Well, it's been a bad year for that. We actually, Wanda just got through harvesting, I think, all of our broccoli, most of it today, wasn't it?
Yeah, all the little side shoots and stuff were out, and our salad broccoli had produced quite a few little heads. So I was harvesting all of that so that we can clear that up because we are getting ready to plant green beans.
Green beans. Yes. Red Duchess says, if it's a Golden Cross cabbage, it doesn't get very big. Yeah, it's a 45-day Golden Cross.
But we had 3 different kinds,
We
and
did.
none of them are doing.
None of them are actually doing good. Not even our hybrids.
The hybrid has got the biggest, prettiest leaves, but the cabbage itself is about this size.
Plant in Alabama says, what type of fruit trees do you have and when do you fertilize? We fertilize now. We like to fertilize when they first start budding, at least a week or 2 before they bud. I like to put a little fertilizer out. 2 of them, we have peaches, apples, I mean, you name it. It doesn't matter. We have it, probably. We've got apricots, plums. I mean, it would be insane for me to sit here and list all the different fruit trees that we have.
We probably got about 30 or 40 different types of fruit trees, and between fruit trees and berries.
Berry trees.
Yeah. Do I ever can broccoli soup? No.
No.
Does broccoli preserve well other than frozen?
No.
No. We just eat it fresh. I've not even tried to freeze any. Broccoli's one of those things you eat in season in my book.
Bruce Hart says, do you think the electromagnetic waves from wireless everything is affecting our plants? I really think that it's playing some on our plants. It may not be everything. I think chemtrails is playing a lot, but I do think that the electromagnetic pulses going through the air is also tampering with everything.
When are we planting our green beans, and are they bush or pole? Well, we're planting both.
Both.
We're going to be planting the contender and the rattlesnake beans, and probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have to check the calendar again and see when. And when I say calendar, I'm talking about my funeral home calendar. I just got to bring that in. That tells the different things, and we're with the signs of the moon. It talks about the signs of the body and everything, and when to plant. And so we're trying to keep up with that. What apple variety we grow?
Anna and Ein Shamir. It's the only 2 that'll grow in here and produce an apple.
And somebody's wanting to know how you grow them without insects.
You don't.
They just.
We do fairly well. I mean, but we do have a few insects get ours occasionally.
Sherry says she dehydrates broccoli, and yes, that probably would be one of the ways that you could save it for soup.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody's saying that Costco does have an inoculant, so you might want to check there. We don't have a Costco's.
We don't have Costco's here, right? Rich Bateman says, I want to grow black currants. What are the best conditions for them? I'm not really sure because we don't grow those here. They don't do well, so I can't really answer that question honestly. If someone on here might be able to that may live where they grow those. Deb Long says, Danny getting tired. No, not bad.
I'm tired.
You might, yeah.
He was tired a while ago, y'all.
Yeah. Let's see here.
That's a lot of it.
BFB Black Hole says, I use powder grow seeds to make my plants grow.
Donna says she got her a funeral home calendar. Was it the one with all the information on it? That's what I'm telling you. These things are priceless. I don't know how you could. I don't know if they stop making them. I don't know what we're gonna do with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and try to get some for the gathering. I'm hoping to have at least 2 or 3 to give away at the gathering.
They're really beneficial. I mean, they're like, okay. I mean,
they're saying Costco has moringa powder. I thought they were talking about the inoculant powder. I didn't see what they were saying.
Reese says, Danny, are y'all worried about the radiation that is coming? Yeah, I'm always concerned about the radiation that's coming from the sun and from man-made stuff. There's nothing I can do about it, but you know, it's always a concern.
Yeah. Um, Sherry said, "Did you notice that you hopped right up when I mentioned visiting the funeral parlor?"
Oh,
Denise wants one of those funeral home calendars. I'm going to try to get some. I'm telling you. Um,
that's
will
funny.
the farmer's almanac tell you when to plant?
Yes, it should.
It's just more
It's
difficult
more difficult to
to.
find it in there and to figure out how to use it.
Yeah. What is on the funeral calendar?
It has all the signs in the body and what grows best, what above
Let
ground
me.
crops, what below ground crops. Um, Mimsy, we did not buy the funeral home calendars. They just give them to you. You don't have to buy them.
Yeah, the funeral home gives them away, but let me see if I can get this where you can see it. Well, let me turn it straight.
If you can hold it still enough, you keep
Let me
moving.
go, and it's not straight. There we go. It has the signs, the moons. You can see some of them are turned upside down, some are up right side up. There's meanings to all that. It tells when you can go fishing, when to plant, when to chop weeds down. What else? Animals. What else did it say? It's got all kinds of information, and it's easier because it's day by day. Where with the
Well, it
farmer's
tells it
almanac,
it tells what signs in the body is in and what days. You know, if you got something in the head, the legs, the heart, and stuff like that, you don't plant on those days. You only plant on certain days, and it tells you what days the signs is in the body and stuff like that. Really, really beneficial. Any tips on growing pole beans? This will be my first time growing them. Just make sure you have a good trellising system, and you know, you fertilize them good with some good organic stuff, and should be good to go.
yeah, Charlotte's saying she got one at the power office. Used to people gave these calendars out. This
Yeah,
was the calendar many years ago, and this is the first time I've known of somebody giving them out in a long, long time.
yeah.
All right. Um,
Well, our time is fixing to be up.
yeah. I'm trying to see.
In the daytime, I rest at Harmony Hill. At night, I tap on windows. Okay, let's
So
see
the
here.
ones that instead of just hiding their comments, just go ahead and ban them and be done with it. Because the trolls, we usually don't have trolls. This is the first time in months that we've had trolls.
Yeah,
Just delete them. I
just
don't
delete
even
them.
want to fool with them. It's fine. You're not hurting my feelings.
Not hurting our feelings, believe me.
Just ban. I'm not sure, Georgia Garden Girl. She says something about what are you talking about? I'm not sure what she's meaning. My daddy and mom taught me that I have that calendar hard to.
Fine though.
Yes, it is very hard. But if you can find them, it's awesome.
Yeah.
In the sign from the knees going down and before coming back up, good time to wean animals. Yes, it tells all that stuff in this calendar, and people don't know this, so it helps if you get a calendar like this and study it. And at least next year you would know more what you're looking for, even if you can't find this calendar. If you already know what the signs are and what they're good for, you can at least figure it out on your own a little bit.
Okay, let's see.
There's no publisher names on these calendars.
No, we've looked on the calendars. There's no publisher's names on them
There's
anywhere.
nothing there.
Georgia Garden Girl, lots of people call it horoscope. It's not actually horoscope. It's planting by the zodiac. And there's nothing wrong with planting by the zodiac. So You know,
they're saying,
that's
yeah, is it a horoscope or what?
no.
One of them found it at a pharmacy.
Does it really work to go by the moons? Yes, it is. I mean, lots of people don't believe in it. I do. The moon plays a huge part in what goes on here on the earth.
Yeah, and the signs do too.
Yes.
We've been taught to leave the signs alone because of the, would you say, astrological, the
Yeah.
horoscope side of it. But
Yeah.
actually, the signs go back from the beginning of time, and it is part of God's time, I
Yeah.
guess, his meeting time, and so it does have a lot of meaning.
Let's see here. So,
When is it going on Rockwell? Wellburn, you are commenting, so we do see your comments.
We do see your comments.
So at least we see the one you said, why can't
Yeah.
I comment? I do see that one. So I'm not sure if you've commented something else. If you asked a question, just repost and maybe it'll come through. Yeah, we might ask the funeral home where they got them and see if we could have some done and have deep south. That is an idea.
Yeah,
And it
Adkins
might
Family
be done by
Homestead
next
said,
year.
how much potatoes would you recommend for a family of 4? At least plant a 50-pound bag of them.
Yes. Wanda, do you ever do tinctures like your grandparents? I did years ago. I kept tinctures around, but now I'm just buying the oils from doTERRA because they last longer. Tinctures will only last a year or so before going bad, and if you don't need them, I had a lot of tinctures I had made up that I never really needed, and so I was constantly having to try to remake every year or so and to keep them fresh. And so now I just do the oils. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier.
Okay, let's see. You can get a calendar from the Farmer's Almanac website. Comments are the maximum of 200 characters. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
they've said they've heard the old timers talking about planting by the moon.
yeah.
A lot of people don't think it's beneficial, and a lot of people plant anytime they want, but it will make a difference.
It does make a difference
in
the
return.
In the return that you get.
You can plant a tomato today, and you can wait and plant a tomato when it's time. And the one you plant today may make tomatoes, but the one when it's time may make lots of tomatoes. That's the difference. It's not that the plants won't grow. The plants will grow.
They'll grow and they'll produce, just maybe not as well.
They said they have 75 pounds coming. That should
be more than
give
enough.
You quite a few.
Yes.
Carla says hers is from ashgrovemarketing.com. Let me write that down so I'll have it and I'll check it out.
Looking, just reading comments. My daddy always planted potatoes on Good Friday, zone 7B. If that happens to be the right phase of the moon, then it should be perfectly fine. What do we use for fire ants? We don't. Hell.
We can't get rid of them.
Gasoline is the only thing I know of that gets rid of them.
Most people planted potatoes on Good Friday. If we waited till Good Friday here,
it would be too late.
It'd be too late. We're harvesting within 2 to 3. Well, what? Good Friday's in April usually.
Usually.
1st April.
Well, yeah.
We would be harvesting in May, so we usually harvest our potatoes sometime in May.
Yeah.
Now, on Good Friday, we planted peas and beans and field peas.
Field peas. Now that's not
field peas.
That's not English peas. That's field peas.
Field peas and stuff like that. Excuse me. Yeah, they're saying it's totally different where they're at.
Yeah. Kingman says that the Mazzaroth was awesome before the Babylonians got a hold of it. I agree completely. Tamara says, Danny, what is the mixture you put on peas before you plant? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I think she's talking about the
inoculant.
It was just water and inoculant.
Water was a slurry mixed up of the inoculant. Full moon after the last
Indians
frost,
use
plant
the
safe.
moons to plant. Yes.
Yes, they did.
Everybody has since the beginning of time till recently.
Till recently, yeah. Modern agriculture is the only thing that has stopped the planting of the moon.
Yes. Most people put potatoes out the end of February. Is there a way to view all the comments after we log off? Yes.
Yes.
Give it about an hour, because if you come right back on right after we log off, it's processing.
Yeah.
But after about an hour, hour and a half, and you come back to the video, all these comments will be over there.
They'll be over there. You'll have to go. It'll say chat.
Yeah.
And underneath the video, and you can click on chat, and it should show all the comments that's been in the chat.
Yes.
Let's see here. Okay, guys, we got to get off. We've been on over an hour now, so
yes.
And Tamara, Tamara says she's confused about what inoculant is. Tamara, inoculant is nothing more than a mycorrhizal bacteria that helps the seed to pull nitrogen from the soil until it gets big enough to pull it out of the air. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
And what would you?
I was going to say before we get off, two things. One is we're doing another oil study. So if you're interested, contact me. Got links in the description below. If you want to do an oil study to learn more about oils. Then the other is the gathering. If you're planning on coming, it's March the 9th here at Wiggins, Mississippi at the Stone County Fairgrounds from 9 to 5. Gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of people coming. If you want the food, you want to pre-order, the phone number is in this chat. So I'll try to think and get it and put it in the description. That way you guys can order your food ahead of time if you want to. Just make sure y'all show up. The t-shirts, I forgot. Oh, I'm wearing one and Danny's wearing the hat, and I slam forgot.
Yeah.
Garden like your life depends on it, because it does.
Because it does.
This is our slogan for the gathering, and if you wear one of these t-shirts or one of those hats, you're going to get put into a drawing for a free something. And Sherry is in the chat tonight, and she can put up the whatever you call it, the link to order, and it's in the description. Order you one of these t-shirts. You're going to love them. Everybody does so far. And I'm not sure, let's see what else I got in case. Oh, one of our subscribers passed away this week. Lady we met last year at the gathering. She came to the gathering, and she was coming again this year. She'd done contacted me and told me she was coming. And her name was, well, you would know her by Bama Grits. Sweet lady. She passed away this week, so we want you guys to remember her family in prayer. We want to remember Leslie from Scratch Made Homestead, her mom, Jen at the Nut House, her grandmother. We have Patty Alderman, her mother. All of them are very sick. Yeah. And so we want to remember all of them, and our friend Amy in New York. We want to keep her in prayers.
Yes.
Sharon Burke, Two Family has her name up and stuff. Her name was Sharon Burke, but Bama Grits is who most people would know her as. If you Red Duchess, if you want to pre-order plants, you can email them. They're putting up their email too. If you want to pre-order any plants. So,
I think,
is there anything else?
Oh, I don't think. I think we're about to get everything.
Yes, Georgia Garden Girl. It is an email. Claygirl is an email. She is not a business. She is a homesteader. So you will be emailing her. You will be talking to a person, not a machine. Believe me, you're talking to a person. So just email claygirl@centurylink.net about
Alan
the t-shirt.
Travis said he lost his mom last week. Keep Alan in our prayers.
Okay. And everybody else could be putting your prayers up.
Looks like there's a lot of people with a lot of different needs tonight. And I do, like I said a while ago, I thank all of y'all for your prayers for me. They seem to work.
The name plaques, two families name plaques. Yes, keep
Yes.
up with them too. If you want a name plaque, there's so many going on at the gathering till it's hard for me to remember. Welburn, my oldest son, hasn't found his way. Please say a prayer for him.
Nadia, you can plant your pumpkin seeds as soon as the last frost is gone. Make sure that there's no more frost. Okay. I guess we're about ready to pray, and then we can get off of here. Father, we come to you tonight. We just want to tell you how much we love and appreciate you, and thank you for all that you've done for each and every one of us. Father, I thank you for bringing me through the sickness that I had this past week and restoring my health. And Lord, I've seen on here tonight, there's many people that's mentioned sicknesses, Father. And I pray that you'll restore their health also, Father, and put them back on their feet, help them to be overcomers of the disease or the colds or whatever it is that's ailing their bodies. I've seen some that's had broken bones, and Father, to pray that their bones can mend quickly and be healed and be able to be back about using their body once more. And Father, I saw those that had lost loved ones. We had Bama Grits passed away. Her husband had passed away here right before that, and then we had Alan's talking about his mother had passed away, and Father, others had mentioned the loss of loved ones, and I pray, Father, that you'll grant them peace and the ability to get beyond the loss, Lord, and help them to realize that it may not be the end for them, Lord, that they can be reunited in heaven one day, maybe, and Father, that they'll always have that to look forward to, and Father, there are those that had some financial issues I noticed, and I pray for them, Lord, that their finances will, will be able to meet their needs. And Father, there are those that said they still had colds and chest colds and stuff like that, and I'm praying for each and every one of them. Lord, those that had some cancers, different things like that, I pray for their bodies, Lord, that they can have healing for their bodies now. And Father, for everybody that didn't even put up a request tonight, Father, everybody has a request of some kind, and I know some are so private that they don't want to talk about them, and I pray that you'll help each and every one of them with whatever need it is that they have tonight, Father, whether it be financial, whether it be physical, spiritual, or whatever it is. I pray for healing for their bodies now. And Lord, thank you for a good show tonight. We thank you for giving us good people. And I pray for each and every person that's been in our chat tonight, Lord, that they'll have a blessed night. And Lord, that whatever their hands touch may prosper, and that their gardens may produce and produce abundantly this year, Father. Go with us now through the remainder of the night. Watch over us as individuals. Watch over our country, our leaders, and Father, for just take care of everybody that's been on the show tonight. And thank you for everybody being so good and so understanding. And I pray that we've been able to be a blessing to each and every one of them now. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. So I see people still with their prayer requests and things. I can't remember. Holly Haven says we are praying for our well driller to be able to get the well drilled this week so we can finally move to our 12-acre homestead.
Oh yeah, that's a blessing. Yeah.
Prayers for the quest. Okay. Wanda, what nameplates? I'm not sure what nameplate she's talking about, so unless she's talking about the plaques that Two Family Homestead are
that's got to be probably what
wooden
it is.
plaques. They're about this big with your names on them. If you want like a homestead name or whatever you go by, and you would like to have that on a plaque, Daryl is making those. He's charging, I don't even know, $5-10 for those, but check Two Family Homestead out, and she can tell you where. Okay. You guys, the moderators did an awesome job tonight. Thank
y'all, each and every one of you.
And thank each one of you for coming in. And maybe next week, if nothing happens, we'll talk about animals a little bit.
Maybe so.
We'll see what we can do. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Y'all have a blessed night.